Well, hello, sunshine. Come on in as I do a little bit of cleaning. And I'm going to tell you what was on my mind lately. I've been thinking more so about this whole dating dynamic, maybe because I've been approached here and there, and I've been talking to some of my girlfriends about it. So, for all my married ladies out there, forgive me for a second while I talk to my single classmates, but feel more than welcome to chime in if you remember the days of your being single and have a little bit of advice. But in the meantime, here's what I was thinking. I feel like one of the most dangerous places to date from is a place of scarcity. And it's that place where that loneliness starts to whisper, if not flat out yell, in your ear. And it starts saying things like, this might be your last chance, you're getting older. Who else is going to want you? Better to deal with the devil you know than one that you don't. And all of that stuff. And before you know it, you start choosing somebody that really you already know isn't really right for you. You're choosing them more so because you're afraid that there might not be anybody else. And ladies, I just want to say, I feel like there's a difference between wanting love, which, let me pause on that for a second, because there are so many people out here acting like, oh, you got to decenter men, it's better to always choose the bear and all of that stuff. But I'm here to say, in my humble opinion, I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting love. I don't think there's anything wrong with admitting that out loud, praying for it, all the things that I think should go in before you have a relationship. There's nothing wrong with wanting love. But I think there's a difference between wanting love and then just being able to accept anything that resembles it. And I've seen that happen too many times. If I'm being honest, even in my past, I have accepted something like that. But I think it's important for us to recognize the voice of scarcity, because that is scarcity will have you thinking you need to take whatever comes your way. It's going to tell you that just because someone is interested, you should be grateful. Somebody's giving you attention. You should go ahead and, look into their potential because, you already saw those red flags. But they might be someone that, is better for you. And I don't know. However you phrase it, I just feel like as we start getting older, people are telling us that our standards need to be lower. But here's what I think. I think getting older doesn't mean you should be more desperate. If anything, you should be more discerning. You need to take all those lessons that you learned from the life that you've lived, the mistakes that you've made, from loving the wrong people, all the things that you've already seen happen when you ignore the red flags just because you wanted something to work so bad. So I just feel like, why would you take all of that wisdom and all that knowledge that you know and throw it away just because you're feeling lonely? Loneliness is just a feeling. It's even just a season. And we all know you shouldn't make a life-changing decision based on a temporary season. I feel like there's a lot of times when people start asking, what if there isn't someone else? Okay. The question I think you should ask, or that doesn't get asked enough, is not just what if there isn't someone else, but what if this person right here is the only person that's interested in you right now? And you go ahead and you pursue that, but then later comes along someone who's better suited for you, but you're tied to this person right now. Not only that, but even with the person you have right now, I feel like you should be asking yourself, wouldn't you rather have peace than attach yourself to somebody who's not right for you right now? Because I feel like a lot of times we stay so focused on the possibility of losing this person that isn't right for us anyway, that we don't honestly realize the other possibility, and that's the possibility of losing ourselves. Because when I think back on some of the mistakes that I've made, baby, I have not only lost myself, I've lost my peace. At some points, I almost lost my confidence. Like, dang, am I tripping? Like, he's doing what instead of this? And you know what I mean? I've lost my joy. I've literally lost years off of my life trying to make the wrong decision that I made turn right. That was just a waste of time. And I'm at a point now where I would just rather spend a season alone than spend those years again recovering from a bad decision I made just because I was afraid to be alone or something crazy. Being single isn't some type of punishment. Just like being lonely is a season, I feel like being single is also a season. That's all it is. And it's a season that can actually be beautiful if you stop sitting around waiting for something else to happen or waiting for the next season. It doesn't matter how much I sit down right here, right now, in the summer, waiting for fall. Fall's gonna come when it comes. You know what I mean? And I could have wasted my summer waiting on the next season. And that's how I feel about wasting your singleness, waiting on your married season or something like that. And as far as it pertains to having that love that you're looking for, girl, give it to yourself. And really, I feel like that's where the real work begins. I'll never forget, I had a girlfriend who, she and I had daughters around the same age, and they would play together sometimes. And I noticed a pattern. Every time we go over to her apartment, it was a mess. I'm talking about stuff all over the place. But on the rare occasions that I would go over there and it was clean, I was like, oh, she's got company coming, or oh, she's met somebody. I already knew the pattern. And I not only wondered, what does that say about herself to herself, but what is that telling her daughter about their own value in terms of their house? And, the only time it really needs to be clean is if you're entertaining a gentleman caller or something like that, So that's another reason I try to take the time. I'm not doing a deep clean. I'm not going to say that. But I try to touch on the things that need to be touched and clean up just for myself. I feel like if you're waiting for someone to do that, you're really telling yourself something that I really hope isn't true. You're telling yourself that you're not really worthy of a clean environment. If you're waiting on somebody to take you to a nice dinner, girl, no. Take yourself to that dinner. You're waiting on somebody to buy you flowers, girl, get up and go get your own flowers. I know a lot of the girls are getting their flowers from Trader Joe's. I happen to buy mine from Costco just because you can get 2 dozen for the cost of a little bit more than 1 dozen. But girl, go out and buy yourself the flowers. You waiting on somebody else to take a trip? Go ahead, start planning that trip now. Look at all the excursions and all the fun things you want to do. And if nobody's available, girl, you are. Take yourself. You're waiting on somebody to tell you that you're beautiful, or you're waiting on an occasion to wear that outfit. Look in the mirror, tell your doggone self you're beautiful. Get dressed, put on that lipstick. In my case, sometimes it's booty shorts, but you can put on that outfit and tell yourself how beautiful you are. You're waiting on somebody to create beautiful memories with you. Pull out your cell phone and start snapping your own pictures. Go shopping. Enjoy the restaurant you like. Take yourself on a date. Call some of your girlfriends. You're worried about rekindling a relationship with somebody you knew it didn't work out with before. Just consider, and I'm not talking about any deep issues and problems, but if there's a girlfriend that you all have parted ways over something trivial, consider calling her. Consider rebuilding on meaningful friendships. Rebuild with people who really gave you that good laugh and that good sense of connection. And speaking of laugh, if you're not laughing every day, I feel like something is wrong. I want you to get to a point where you laugh until your stomach flat out hurts, until you have tears come into your eyes. I want you to eat a delicious meal. If you can't go out to a nice restaurant, romanticize cooking for yourself. Cook yourself something new and something delicious. And while you're cooking it, girl, put on some music. And don't just put on the music, dance. Make your home a place that you enjoy coming back to. Because, ladies, I feel like life isn't on pause while you're being single. As long as you're breathing, baby, your life is happening right now. So go ahead and live it to the fullest. Stop making love the price of admission for you to have a beautiful life. Because I think sometimes we tell ourselves, when I meet that somebody, I'm going to go out and travel. When I meet that special someone, I'll be going to that restaurant or all of that other stuff. Because to me, what you're really telling yourself is, until I meet someone, will I start living? No. Start living right now. Stop making romantic love the price of admission for your beautiful life. That just doesn't make sense to me. You don't have to have a partner to justify your joy. You don't need somebody besides you to validate the fact that you're having a good time. You don't have to wait for somebody to arrive before you can become the woman that you want to be. Start becoming her right now. You know how they talk about becoming her? Become her now. Because here's the beautiful thing about building a life that you love. You become less willing when you have the life that you love, a home that you enjoy, something you've cultivated for yourself. You become less willing to let the wrong person come in and disrupt that life of yours. You become more invested in protecting the peace that you've created. And when you've learned to enjoy your own company, you stop being impressed just because somebody else wants to spend time with you. Yeah, duh, they want to spend time with you. You're her.
You know what I mean? When your life is full, you don't feel like you have to have somebody else to enjoy it. You just show up and boom, you're taking up that place yourself, that space yourself. You are making yourself the good time that you want to have. A partner, in my opinion, should be an addition. It shouldn't be an escape and it shouldn't be an excuse. I don't want a relationship just because I'm trying to escape my lonely life or my sad life or my dirty life or any of that stuff. If and when I come to a place that I have a relationship, it's going to be because it complements the life that I already enjoy. And to me, that's a completely different mindset. When you're dating from a place of scarcity, you're looking for somebody else to rescue you from a sense of loneliness or sadness or whateverness that you feel. But when you're dating from a place of wholeness, that's when the real questions start coming up. You start asking yourself, does the person in front of me fit into the life that I've already built for myself? Is this a person that can bring me peace? Can they make my life even better than it is now? Can we build something happy together? And do I actually even like this person? Do I like the person I am, in fact, when I'm with this person? You know what I mean? You start asking yourself, is this a person that I can have to add to my peace, or is this a person I need to remove to maintain my peace? Because sometimes those are really the choices that you're faced with. And peace should never automatically lose just because you're afraid of being alone. Like when you have the choice between peace and a relationship, you should never set aside peace just so you can have somebody. So the next time loneliness starts whispering to you that this might be your last chance, you're in the 50 plus club or whatever your age range is, I want you to answer, if that's the case, if I am coming up on my last chance, that's all right. I'm going to make this life beautiful anyway. I'm going to want me for myself. I'm going to love me. I'm going to enjoy me. I'm going to build or rebuild those healthy friendships. I'm going to make beautiful memories. I'm going to travel. I am going to laugh until my tummy is sore. I'm going to create a life that feels good for me to come home to, because I just refuse to accept the wrong person simply because I'm afraid there won't be another one. What? No. Being single, like I said, is just temporary. But the love you give yourself, that's got to be permanent. That's got to be from here forward. So don't date from a place of scarcity. Build a life that you love so deeply that anybody who enters it has to bring something beautiful to your life, or to the table, as people say. I cannot stand that term, but whatever. But I just want you to get out there and live your life for real, because as long as you're drawing breath, it's time to live. So start living now. Hot chat, 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 chat. Oh my gosh, I need somebody to save me from myself. A simple move, never basic.